He is accused of throwing a cat into a fire, but the Laurel County man tells me from jail he's innocent.
Police spent hours looking for a man they say assaulted a woman, then left her home with a child. How that search ended.
A horrible accident left a Central Kentucky girl with serious injuries. Now, nearly 2 years later, how her family is trying to help others.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. Some disturbing accusations tonight against a Laurel County man. Police say that he injured a cat by throwing it into a fire not just once, but twice.
They've charged George Leith with animal torture for an incident police say happened last year. Today, he talked to us from the Laurel County Detention Center, and he claims police arrested the wrong person. Bill Pendleton has our top story at 6.
People who live on Waterworks Road in London tell me they do remember the incident, but the man accused in the crime claims from jail that it wasn't him who did it.
Trying to get back at me or something. I don't understand it.
George Leith says he's being blamed now for something that happened a year ago near his ex-girlfriend's home. He says a teenager is the one responsible.
He was the one threw the cat in the fire, but I guess to get out of trouble, it got blamed on me. 6
teenagers were charged with numerous arsons in that part of Laurel County last year. The warrant states that on May 31st, Leith picked up the affiant's cat and threw it in the fire. The cat got out, but he allegedly threw it in again.
I hope this can get straightened out, you know. I don't want to spend time in here for something that crazy, that petty. I mean, I didn't even do it.
We don't know exactly what happened to the cat, but Leith tells me that he believes it did survive. Leith is charged with torture of a dog or a cat. He was arrested on a warrant signed by one of the alleged victims of this case. Police tell me that because of that, they do not have any information on the arrest. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Leith also told us he had never been arrested until now, but a check of jail records showed recent charges of domestic violence and assault.
Tonight, the search has ended for a man police say assaulted a woman, then took off with a 1-year-old child. Police say they found him this afternoon in a home on Raleigh Road in Lexington. Hours earlier, they say he took the child from an apartment off Paris Pike in Georgetown. They say they found the child safe nearby. Monique Blair is tracking the investigation tonight.
It was around 10 o'clock Thursday morning that Georgetown police say 22-year-old Shelton Perkins assaulted a woman at the Overlook apartment complex, then locked her in a bedroom.
Georgetown police say the man then fled in a car with the 1-year-old child inside, but then abandoned the car and the child shortly thereafter here at the entrance of the Overlook apartment complex.
I just heard a car squealing in, and a guy got out and threw his hands up for a second. I thought he was talking to neighbors, so I didn't think nothing of it. I was out here. And the next thing I know, the cops come running through here, and they asked who got out of that car.
Police say the woman was able to free herself from the apartment by climbing out of the bedroom window. That's when she called for help, and a massive manhunt began for Perkins.
I seen him walking. At one time when I seen him walking, he was walking. But when the cops come, I went in at that time, and they took off running.
Police say they found the 1-year-old child in the car Perkins had abandoned. The child wasn't hurt.
But I didn't even know there was a kid in the car, so kind of scared me after they told me, you know. I'm just glad the kid's okay, you know, could have been probably worse.
Perkins was arrested in Lexington at a home on Raleigh Road about 5 hours after the assault happened. He will be lodged in the Scott County Detention Center. In Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Perkins will be charged with fleeing and evading police, endangering the welfare of a child, and 4th-degree assault. New tonight, a Winchester woman accused of putting her newborn in a plastic bag now admits to the crime. The Winchester Sun reports Cassandra Haney pled guilty to child endangerment and evidence tampering. Prosecutors recommended a 4-year prison sentence for each count. Back in January, police say Haney gave birth in a toilet, then put the baby in a plastic bag at her apartment. They say her roommate heard the baby and called for help. The baby did survive.
Next month will mark an anniversary one Georgetown family would rather not celebrate. It's the day a father accidentally backed over his 4-year-old daughter with a lawnmower. Tonight, for the first time, Russell and Samantha Eddington are talking only to WKYT about putting the accident behind them and moving forward by trying to help other families avoid a reality like theirs.
Run, Dad.
Like most 6-year-olds, Katie Eddington would rather choose play over schoolwork. Her giggles, a sign life is good. Nearly 2 years ago, this was Katie. She spent a month in the hospital with 16 surgeries and more to follow.
It happened really fast. Just turned around and, you know, I heard her before I felt her.
It's something Russell Eddington never thought would happen.
When I started cutting grass, everybody was inside.
Only Katie wasn't. She snuck outside while her father was mowing the grass. Samantha Eddington remembers getting the hysterical phone call letting her know the unthinkable had happened.
And that's when they said that they had just left with her and that she'd been backed over by a lawnmower.
Katie was rushed to UK Medical Center in serious condition. Her right leg badly damaged. Samantha Eddington, a nurse by trade, wasn't prepared for what she saw.
She'd lost a lot of skin, a lot of tissue, lost some of her quad muscle. She lost most of her kneecap.
Doctors saved Katie's leg, and while it is different, it's something that she doesn't mind. When she went to kindergarten, she wanted to show it off. Her attitude helped pull her family together after a terrible accident threatened to tear it apart.
Once I realized that we weren't going to be able to keep her down, then I realized that we couldn't stay down.
In the last year, Katie has maintained a pretty normal life, but there are some limits.
I want to see her ride a bike. I want to see her run. And I want her to be done with surgeries.
The Academy of American Pediatrics says 17,000 children require emergency care every year because of lawn mowing accidents. As Katie healed, so did her parents. Russell still carries the weight of what happened, but now they're moving forward in hopes of helping others.
I did not see my child.
Recently, Russell and Katie joined 12 other families to take part in a national public service announcement warning of the dangers of mowing accidents.
If we could help one family not have to go through all this, would be well worth it for me.
In meeting with other Limbs Matter participants, the Eddingtons realized they weren't alone. Each family had their own story to tell and message to convey to other parents.
We're just really regular people. So that's my biggest message, is not to think this can't happen to you.
Despite being so young, Katie has never let her injury stop her.
Kate's amazing.
Their family bond was nearly broken, but a little girl's spirit has given this family faith that life does go on with every next step. And the next step for Katie is a big one. She and her parents have decided to have surgery to take her leg and then fit it with a prosthetic so she'll have a better quality of life. And to see that full Limbs Matter PSA and to learn more about the Katie Bug GoFundMe page, we have all of that for you on WKYT.com.
Wow. Of course, this is the time of year when people are out mowing and kids are outside. So what's the #1 thing these parents say that people should know about all of this?
Sam, it sounds so simple. Keep your kids inside. And that's what the Eddington family thought they were doing. Sure. Russell said everyone was told to stay inside. She snuck outside. It took one moment. They think she may have tripped and fallen. They're not sure. But it's very simple. Make sure everybody's inside and that there's maybe someone there watching them, that they can't get outside. And just be vigilant when you're out there on the mower and a push mower as well.
Sure. Oh, well, bless her and that family.
And thank you to them for speaking out and just trying to help others 2 years later now.
All right. Thanks, Amber. Let's move on to weather. Tonight we're tracking another round of showers and storms out there moving across parts of the state. And GP Meteorologist Chris Bailey joins us with an early look at that forecast. Chris?
Yeah, Sam, a lot of the action this evening is across far southern and southeastern Kentucky. Defender has been tracking some of that scattered stuff pretty much all day long since this morning, and rainfall totals 2 or 3 inches in a lot of cases out there into southern and eastern Kentucky. What's left now, kind of a shell of its former self. Still some isolated stuff from Beattyville, Boonville, back into parts of Estill County, Madison County. One lone little shower on top of Gravel Switch. Then we go into parts of southern Kentucky. Better coverage here. Monticello, Lake Cumberland area, back over toward the Mount Victory area, and right on top of downtown London with some raindrops and some spotty stuff into parts of far southeastern Kentucky. Speaking of southeastern Kentucky, it is a dense fog advisory tonight that gets as far north as Moorhead and Richmond, though I suspect the entire area will be dealing with dense fog later tonight into early tomorrow. Thunderstorms back to our northwest ahead of a cold front. That'll dive into town as we go into the afternoon tomorrow. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll show you why that could actually spark a strong storm or two, and then October moves in for the weekend, guys. A new hour by hour, minutes away.
New tonight, a UK surgeon who recently lost his clinical privileges now faces a lawsuit from a former patient.
James Wilson of Paris is suing Dr. Paul Carney in the lawsuit. Wilson says he's a quadriplegic because of an accident, and he went to UK hospital for an endoscopy. Wilson claims he was initially sedated but regained consciousness during repeated attempts to insert the tube. Wilson says he begged Carney to stop the procedure, but he claims that the doctor used profanity, insulted him, and called him an idiot. Wilson wants punitive and compensatory damages. Last month, the UK Healthcare Committee revoked Carney's clinical privileges after patients, staff, and students claimed he was verbally abusive toward them.
A man injured in a shooting outside a Lexington fast food restaurant has now been charged. Lexington police say that 21-year-old John Armstrong was shot in the leg Monday night near the Dairy Queen on Virginia Avenue. That's not far from the UK campus. Police say they're now charging Armstrong with trafficking a controlled substance within 1,000 feet of a school. A second person, 21-year-old Jesse Stewart, also faces the same charge. Police told us they found a bag of marijuana at the shooting scene. Richmond police now say a woman who claimed that she was attacked by two men was actually lying. Police say they found the woman bleeding yesterday afternoon on North Madison Avenue. Police say two men abducted her, tried to rape her, then cut her before letting her go. But police now say that report was fake and the woman cut herself. Police say that she was treated at UK hospital, then turned herself into police in Louisville because she had outstanding warrants there.
State police will receive nearly a $2 million grant to test backlogged rape kits in Kentucky. The grant comes from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office in New York. The state has nearly 900 untested rape kits at the state crime lab. Police say it takes several weeks to process each kit, so many of them spend years in evidence rooms. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office is giving out $38 million nationwide for testing. Tonight we have an update on a monkey captured yesterday in Bath County.
The Primate Rescue Center in Jessamine County is now caring for this monkey. The center posted this picture on Facebook this afternoon saying the monkey is being quarantined and he is underweight, but he's said to be eating very well. Investigators are trying to figure out how the monkey ended up in Bath County. They think he was brought into Kentucky illegally. The Primate Rescue Center believes the monkey may have been used in biomedical research based on a tattoo on his chest.
New tonight, we have learned a forum has been planned to discuss the future of a soon-to-be-closed Kroger store in Lexington. Kroger says its store on Romney Road will close Saturday because of declining sales. People in the neighborhood sent a petition to the company hoping to save it. Urban County Council member Bill Farmer says a forum about the building's future will be held Tuesday night at 6 at Christ the King Church. Farmer says Kroger's lease on the store isn't up until next September, and he wants to make sure the building doesn't stand empty for a year.